So many HVAC companies brag about how many maintenance plans they sell, but almost none track how long those members actually stay. So if the average tenure of your member is only around a year, it means you're constantly replacing customers who are quietly leaving. So the real strength of a maintenance program is not how many members you sell, but how long they stay. And that's what I'm going to show you here. And so this is like the other side of churn, right? Churn is like whatever, 3% of your customers leave, but this is saying how long do your customers stay? And it's a very valuable number. And so is churn, and I've already covered churn. If you're coming from the book, there's a section on it. If you're coming from the videos, then there's other videos on churn as well. But the key insight here is that the blue columns here, it says a good story. It's like, okay, we went from 100 to 500, maintenance members. But the thing is that, are they staying? Did you have to, run ads or get 500 new ones? Or did you just build up slowly? And that's what the red line is showing you, is that if the average tenure is going up, then that means they're staying with you longer. Okay, so let's get started here. What we're going to do is we're going to calculate this. We have this data set here. And if you want this data set with my solution, the charts and everything, formulas, there's a link to download it. And so if you can't find it, shoot me an email. I'll give you my email at the end here. So the only formulas that we need from this data set are going to be the end of the month here, and then like calculating that, and then calculating the tenure as well. And so what we have is we have customer, we have the snapshot month, and then we have right here is the plan active. And this is a very important column. And then you have cancel here, which is important. And then you have start date. So to get the month is quite a bit easier. It's just EOMONTH, end of month, and then go over to the snapshot month, comma 0. And you can see that this is the same numbers as this, right? And then for the tenure, what we need to do is we need to say, okay, if the plan start date is blank, then give me blank, because it means they don't have a plan, right? Otherwise, give me this month end in column AD minus the plan start date. So equals if this equals blank, then blank. Otherwise, and we're going to do this in brackets, otherwise the month minus the start date. And so now we have the difference of that, and we're going to divide that by 365, because that's going to tell us how long they've been with us in years, right? You could do 365.25 as well if you want to do the leap year. Let's see, where am I messing up? I think it's an extra bracket somewhere around here. Yeah. And so now you can see that these numbers equal these numbers. So I'm going to delete these two columns just because we already have them. Okay, so I'll just copy this over just to save a couple seconds. But essentially what we need is we need the month, how many active members were in that month, and then what was the average of that other column that we created, for the tenure. So to get the unique list of months, I just type in equals unique right here, and then make sure you're doing the table. Close your brackets, and then you can see, again, it's formatted incorrectly, but now you have the month. But the one thing you'll notice is it's not sequential, right? So we want this to be sorted from the earliest to the latest. So just wrap that formula with sort, and then now you have that. So to get the number of active members, we need to go to that active column, right? Where are you? Right here. Is the plan active, 1 or 0, right? So we want to count the number of ones in this column if, the month here matches, the other column, this right here. So equals COUNTIFS here. And you can do either one. You can start with the active plan, is that 1, and then you can do this, or you can do the month first. With COUNTIFS, the sequencing doesn't matter. So we have 148. Let me just center everything here. Then you can double click. Let me zoom in a little bit. And then for here, that other column that we created that showed the average tenure in years, not the average, but the tenure in years at the role. The other sheet. So matching, January 31st, February 28th. So with this one, we're going to do average if S. So here, we're going to, with this, the first argument is the value column. What column do you want to take the average of? And then now the criteria range here is month, comma, and then here. But there's one more thing that we want to do, and that's going to be to make sure they have an active plan. So is plan active here, comma 1. And so now you get the average tenure in years. And what you'll see is it's going up, which is exactly, that's what you want. And so, because one little thing, it's churn, but maybe you've never seen this before, as far as calculating it. But if you get, say, 20 clients a month, you bring on 20 new clients a month. But if you have a 5% churn, then you divide 20 by 5%, and that's your maximum number of clients your company can ever get, which is 400, right? So say 5%, then you just divide these two monthly, clients, and then divide by churn, and so 400. Here is we just want to chart this. Pretty simple column chart with a line overlay, and then all you have to do is click anywhere in your chart. Let me see, is that 1 decimal or 2? Okay. Anywhere in your chart, insert recommended, and then you can see like nothing here is sort of making sense. This one's okay. But the thing that we want is like this. It's not quite done, but we want a secondary axis. So if you go to all charts combo, then you can choose the secondary axis, because you don't want, 1.1 years to be on the same axis as 148 members. And so just make sure that you choose a secondary axis. And yeah, this is the chart. So let me go here, take this name. Yeah, so that's how you calculate this. And again, like you want to see that your churn is low. Obviously, onboarding and how many people you're bringing in a month will vary, but you want to see that churn is low and that your tenure for existing members is increasing, right? Because that's means that they're not churning. And so yeah, so anyways, that is it for this one. If you have any questions on this, shoot me an email, questions@databoards.io. If you want this file with my formulas, with the charts, with all that stuff, there's a link. There's no cost or anything. You don't have to even give me your email. If you can't find it, then you'll have to email me, and I can shoot it over to you. But yeah, and then finally, if you need some help structuring your data, getting insights into your data, if you don't have anybody on your team that can do that, or if they're tied up, or if you just want some outside help, then there's a link to my calendar, or you can again shoot me an email, questions@databoards. And if not, then I will see you in the future lesson.